Hey guys, I'm Steph and welcome to my beauty stash. Welcome back, guys. Thank you all so much for joining me here today. Before we begin, make sure you click on that subscribe button and ring that bell so that you're notified every time I have a new video upload. So I have something that I cannot wait to share with you guys, and that is my new little mini series entitled 7 Foundations in 7 Days. I will be reviewing the latest foundations, both high-end and affordable, giving you guys 12-hour wear tests and rating each foundation at the end of the day. Now, before we begin, let me tell you guys a little bit about my skin and my major concerns. I'm 37 years old. I have normal to oily skin. My most oily places on my face are, of course, my T-zone, especially my nose. My main concern right now are my fine lines and large visible pores, so I am always looking for a new product that's going to help blur and fade those pores away and make those fine lines look invisible. All of the foundations that I will be trying for you these next 7 days all have a different finish and they all have a different amount of coverage. To give you guys a good shade match for my skin, in the Fenty Pro Filter Foundation, I am in shade 140. And in the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear Foundation, I am in the shade 420. All of the other products that I will be using on my face are products that I know work extremely well for me. And these are the products that I will be using every single day that I try out one of these new foundations. For primer, I will always go in with the Cover FX Gripping Primer. For concealer, I will be using the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, and this is in the shade Light Sand. To set my T-zone and under eye area, I will be going in with the Too Faced Peach Perfect Setting Powder. And to set the perimeters of my face, I will be using the Too Faced Peach Blur Translucent Finishing Powder. For all of the foundation reviews, I will be using a damp makeup sponge. For setting spray, I'll be using the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. And I will also be using the Urban Decay All Nighter once I have finished my entire face of makeup. During these wear tests, I will not be doing any kind of touch-ups to my skin. I want to see how the foundation performs with the products that I'm used to using on a daily basis and how it's going to wear on my normal to oily skin. I really hope you guys enjoy these next 7 days of 7 different foundations and 12-hour wear tests. As always, guys, please leave me your comments, your suggestions for any videos that you wish to see from me in the future. Now, let's get started with our final day, day 7. Today, we are going to be trying the latest foundation from Soap & Glory, and this is their Kick-Ass All Day Wear Foundation. There are several claims to this foundation, which I'll get into in a minute, but I picked up the shade 4. This does retail at Ulta for $16, and you do get 1 fluid ounce. This will be the first time that I try a Soap & Glory facial product. I have a couple of their lip products and I really do enjoy those. So I have high hopes for this foundation. It is considered a drugstore foundation, but with a $16 price tag, it's more on the higher end of drugstore prices. Now, let me go ahead and give you some specifics before we begin applying. The Soap & Glory Kick-Ass Foundation is said to last 24 hours without getting the dreaded cakey face. It also says that it is waterproof, humidity-proof, and sweat-proof, pretty much everything proof. Skin looks flawless, yet natural for all day wear. On the Ulta website, there are 12 different shade options for this foundation. This foundation does say that it could be applied using your fingertips, a damp beauty sponge, or a makeup brush, and that it is buildable for your desired amount of coverage. Now, let's go ahead and try the Kick-Ass Foundation. Step 1 will be to prime my skin using the Cover FX Gripping Primer. I'm going to start with 2 pumps. Let's start bouncing. Alright, so this is the side that has the first application, and then this is the side that has no foundation. I like the coverage, I like the finish, I like the way it went on the skin. It seems to be really nice. Let me go ahead, I have about half a pump left, so I'm probably going to have to pump some more out, but let me finish what I have and then we'll go from there. Alright, so this is with 2 pumps of foundation. I do want to see if I can build it up just a little bit in here. So I'm going to do 1 more pump, maybe like half a pump even. Let me see. Just that much. And let me go ahead and just build up in my problem areas. Alright, so this is the way the foundation is going to stay. I am not going to add any more than what I already have, and I think it looks really nice, guys. I think the finish is really pretty. It's sitting really well on my skin, and it really is providing good coverage. So far, Soap & Glory is doing really well. Let me see now how it's going to work with the rest of my facial products. My next step is going to be to conceal, and I'll be using the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. To set the concealer in place, I'll be going in with the Too Faced Peach Perfect Setting Powder. To set the perimeters of my face, I'll be going in with the Peach Perfect Translucent Finishing Powder. Now let's give the skin a final look. I think it is laying really nicely on my skin. I think it provided a really good amount of coverage without feeling too heavy. It doesn't seem to be settling anywhere. It just seems to be laying really nicely. It doesn't really feel like it's accentuating any of my pores. I really do think it was a great color match for me. I'm in shade 4. So yeah, this little new Soap & Glory foundation seems to be doing really well for me. So we are going to give this the good 12-hour wear test today. My check-in time, or my start time, is 7:09. I know, I'm up really early today. So we will have this foundation on till at least 7 p.m. this evening. And I will be back to give you my periodic check-ins throughout the day. You all stay safe, whatever it is you all are doing, and I will see you guys in a bit. So this is my 3-hour check-in with the Soap & Glory Kick-Ass Foundation, and I am really liking the way it has been wearing on my skin. I think it looks really nice. It has kind of settled already into my smile lines, as you can see there, but I had breakfast about an hour ago, and so far it is holding up really well. I do think I might be a little bit shiny on my nose, but we'll see how it looks at the halfway point at the 6-hour check-in. But so far it looks nice. I think it has good coverage, and I think it's wearing fairly well. So I will be back in another 3 hours with my 6-hour check-in of the Soap & Glory Kick-Ass Foundation. See y'all then.
Hey guys, so this is my 6-hour check-in with the Soap & Glory Kick-Ass Foundation, and I am looking really oily, especially on my nose. I'm getting oily up here on my forehead. It's still laying the same with just that one flaw of the oiliness, but I do like the finish of it. I do like the way it's sitting on my skin. But yeah, as far as oiliness goes, I am getting really oily. So I will check back in with you in another 3 hours to see how this foundation is wearing. Hope y'all are staying safe, having fun, whatever it is y'all are doing. Don't forget to drink your water, and I'll be back in 3 hours.
Guys, so it's now been 9 hours that I've had on the Soap & Glory Kick-Ass Foundation, and the only problem that I am seeing is my oiliness, especially on my nose and up here on my forehead. But I mean, the finish of the foundation is nice. It's wearing well. It's not caking up. It's not coming off. It has settled a little bit into my fine lines right here. But that's about it. It seems to be holding up pretty decent around my mouth area. And yeah, it's just obviously the oil situation. I think that if I was able to blot or to touch up, I think this foundation would be doing better than what it is. So it's not a complete disaster. I wish I could touch up with some powder, but I'm not going to, because I want you to see how this foundation is going to wear on normal to oily skin. So I will be back in another 3 hours to do my final check-in with the Soap & Glory Kick-Ass Foundation, and I will give you my final thoughts on it then. So be back in a bit. Hey guys, so this is my 13-hour check-in with the Soap & Glory Kick-Ass Foundation. I am oily all through my forehead, right here through my nose, on my cheeks. It has started to break apart right here around my nose, on my chin right here. And I am just an oily mess. I am ready to take off my makeup and take a shower. I have some things I like about this foundation, and I have some things that I don't. What I liked about it was the coverage. I liked the finish. I liked the application. And I liked the way it wear everywhere else on my skin, with the exception of my T-zone. It just made me really oily. What I don't like is the fact that it didn't keep me really matte through, you know, the first 6 hours. Even by the 3-hour mark, I was starting to already show signs of oiliness on my nose, and then by the 6-hour mark, you could really, you know, tell that my oils had come through. So taking the price, the $16 price tag into consideration, taking everything into consideration, I have decided to give this foundation a 3-star rating. I think that for a drugstore foundation, it did all right, but for a drugstore foundation that costs $16, which is kind of on the high end of a price point for a drugstore, I think it should have done a much better job. I think if you have normal to dry skin, I think you would enjoy this foundation more. If you do have normal to oily skin the way I do, I for sure think you're going to need to touch up by the 3-hour mark. You're going to need to powder it down with a blotting powder, a mattifying powder. You're going to need to go in with a blotting paper and whatnot, just to kind of get those excess oils off your face. But you know, we live and learn. I tried something new, and I'm still gonna keep searching, guys. This is the last day of these 7 foundations in 7 days. I am so happy that you stuck with me through the last 7 days and you were able to watch all of the videos. If you haven't watched any of the videos, please go back. They are in the 7 foundations in 7 days playlist, as well as my foundations playlist, and you can check those out. But I will do a recap over all of the foundations that I have reviewed this last 7 days. Be on the lookout for it either tomorrow or the day after. I will have it up here on my channel. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you for watching this series, and be on the lookout. Stay tuned, because I have another series coming in the very near future that involves concealer. You guys have a great day or night, wherever it is you all are at. Stay hydrated, drink your water, and I will see you all next time. Bye, guys.